His guest Vraja Vinoda Prabhuji has already come. Thank you, Prabhuji. Vraja Vinoda Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I am audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu, you are audible.
Okay. So, दिशा माता जी, आप थोड़ा सा हिंदी में थोड़ा पढ़ी है उनके बारे में। प्रभु जी एक्चुअली, और मैं भी काफी बिजी था 2-3 दिन में। प्रभु जी का वो मैरिज की अटेंड करना था, काफी सेवा था, प्लस आईएलएस भी चल रहा है, उनका सेवा भी है। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल प्रभु जी, थैंक यू सो मच प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी। और दिशा माता जी थोड़ा सा पढ़ लीजिए, तब तक बाकी लोग भी ज्वाइन कर लेंगे। प्रभु जी के बारे में हिंदी में पढ़ लीजिए।
हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु। मैं सभी भक्त जनों का स्वागत करना चाहूंगी। आज हमारे बीच है श्रीमान व्रज विनोद श्याम दासा। प्रभु जी एक इंजीनियर हैं और उन्होंने एमबीए फाइनेंस मार्केटिंग में किया है। भक्ति मार्ग में आने से पहले प्रभु 20 वर्ष बैंगलोर, दुबई, मुंबई में काम करते थे। प्रभु 12 वर्षों से इस्कॉन से जुड़े हुए हैं। वह अभी मायापुर में परिवार सहित रहते हैं। प्रभु जी अभी सेवा रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट एंड कॉर्पोरेट सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के इंचार्ज हैं और भक्ति शास्त्री अथवा अन्य कोर्सेज भी लेते हैं। हम सभी 3 बार हरि बोल बोलकर उनका स्वागत करना चाहेंगे। हरि बोल, हरि बोल,
हरि
हरि
बोल,
बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल।
और आज का टॉपिक है द ग्लोरीज ऑफ श्री अद्वैतो आचार्य। सो प्रभु जी थोड़ा सा मिक्स करके आप बता सकते हो हिंदी इंग्लिश में, जैसे आप ठीक समझो प्रभु जी।
ठीक। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांतं राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तपहं वन्दे श्री गुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्यम् ईश्वरम्। कथाञ्जनस्मृतेर्यस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्री चैतन्यं नमामि तम्। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि। So today chanting this Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam is special because this topic is about Advaita Acarya. And Advaita Acarya is one of the 5 deities who form the Panchatattva. Pancha is 5, Tattva is essence. And these 5 essences which form the Pancha Tattva, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And the original words which is there in the Caitanya caritamrta is Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. The 5 essences. One is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has come as Bhakta Rupa, Bhakta Avatara. He has come as Avatara, but he has come as a Bhakta. Bhakta के रूप में आए, भक्त के अवतार में आए। हाँ, पंचतत्वात्मकम कृष्णम। वो कौन कृष्ण? पंचतत्व के कृष्ण कौन है? श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु। भक्त रूप स्वरूपकम। स्वरूप कौन है? नित्यानंद प्रभु। भक्तावतार भक्ताख्यम नमामि भक्त शक्तिकम। भक्त शक्ति कौन है? भक्त शक्ति है गदाधर प्रभु और श्रीवास प्रभु, श्रीवास आचार्य। वो भक्त की शक्ति है। कौन सी शक्ति है? अंतरंग शक्ति इज गदाधर एंड एज अ डिवोटी जीव शक्ति is Narada Muni, which is Shiva's Acharya. So this Bhakta Rupa is Advaita Acharya. So he is in the form of Bhakta and he's Advaita. Advaita means he's non-different from Krishna. Why? Because he's Vishnu Tattva. Vishnu and Shiva together wanted to come and participate in the Gaur Lila. And so they came as Advaita Acharya. Now the verse which Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami in the invocation, Chaitanya Caritamrta, if you see, पहले अध्याय में पहले 14 श्लोक इन्वोकेशन होता है, सारे चैतन्य महाप्रभु के ग्लोरिफिकेशन में कुछ वर्सेस हैं, नित्यानंद प्रभु के ग्लोरिफिकेशन में 5 वर्स हैं, उसके बाद अद्वैताचार्य के ग्लोरिफिकेशन में 2 वर्स हैं। महाविष्णु जगत कर्ता माया शाश्वतः भक्ति शशनात् भक्तावतारम ईशं तम अद्वैताचार्यम आश्रये। तो भक्तावतार ईशं तम, वो ईश्वर आप ही हैं जो भक्तावतार हैं। So in that it says Mahavishnu is the master of the universe and he creates this through the power of Maya. Maya yat sujat yadaha. Advaita Acharya is that incarnation or the form of the Supreme Lord. He is known as Advaita because he is none other than Hari. Lord Hari, who is Vishnu himself, who is Narayana himself. He is none other than Advaita Acharya. And as Acharya, because he is a preceptor of, he is the one who actually started the entire demand for devotion. Demand. Because nobody else was actually longing for the Lord to come down with so much of compassion for all the living entities. It was Advaita Acharya who started doing that. So in this invocation, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says that Advaita Acharya who is a Bhaktavatara, that Advaita Acharya I take shelter of. That is what is the invocation for Advaita Acharya in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
प्रभु जी 2 श्लोक आपने बताया ना अद्वैत आचार्य के बारे में, एक बार 2 रिपीट कर देंगे? मेरे ख्याल से 12 और 13 नंबर श्लोक एक बार रिपीट करिए ना प्रभु जी।
श्लोक 12-13 है क्या? चाहे तो शेयर कर सकता है, मैं देख सकता हूँ कौन सा वर्ष है करके।
हाँ मैं देख रहा हूँ फर्स्ट चैप्टर का 12 और 13 लग रहा है। बहुत सुंदर आपने रिसाइट किए थे, एक बार दोबारा रिसाइट करिए ना प्रभु। उसको एक्चुअली हम लोग को भी याद करना चाहिए हम लोगों को।
अवतार एवायम अद्वैताचार्य ईश्वरः अद्वैतं हरिनाद्वैतात् आचार्यं भक्ति संसनात् भक्तावतारं ईशं तम अद्वैताचार्यम् आश्रये. These are the 2 verses. So Advaita Acharya, why is he important for us? Because in the 15th century, before the end of 15th century, 1496 is when Caitanya Mahaprabhu appeared.
1486, Prabhu. 1486.
1486 is when Caitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. 1896 is Prabhupada. Sorry. So, thoda confusion hota hai. So 1486 is when Caitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Before that, Advaita Acharya kept on praying that please come down, please come. How did he do that? He just did it with a simple activity of offering tulsi and water, Ganga water, to his Saligram Shila. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, the external reason for appearance of Caitanya Mahaprabhu, one of the reasons which is said is that the hunkara or the call, the loud call of Advaita Acharya is what made Caitanya Mahaprabhu come down, because he was so compassionate. Advaita Acharya ensured. Samir, can you mute Samir Malik? A lot of noise is coming from him.
सुमित हाँ ठीक है okay.
हाँ, तो Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Lord himself. Okay, so when the Lord has to come down, there must be a reason, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya ch dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. This everyone we have heard. When we were growing up, ये B.R. चोपड़ा का महाभारत होता था, महाभारत, हाँ, उसके स्टार्टिंग में 2 श्लोक आ गया, यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत, वो वाला श्लोक और ये वाला श्लोक, ये एकदम सबके मुंह में ये 2 श्लोक रट्टा हो गया। और जब भी हम लोग जाके बोलते थे कि ट्रेन में या कहीं भी जाके भगवत गीता खरीदिए, भगवत गीता पढ़िए, तो वही टोन में बोलते थे लोग, अरे हमें तो भगवत गीता पता है, यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत। तो हम लोग बोलते हैं यार, B.R. चोपड़ा ने सिर्फ 2 ही श्लोक बोले हैं, उसके बाद तो भगवत गीता है। तो और आगे बोलते हैं कि देखो यार, हमें तो पता है कर्म करना है, हम तो कर्म करना है, और कर्म करना है बिना आशा का कर्म करना है, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन। तो हमको उल्टा पढ़ाते थे कि ऐसा हमें तो पता है भगवत गीता। तो हम बोलते थे देखो सर, ठीक है आप जानते हैं, लेकिन 3रे अध्याय के बाद तो फिर से 15 अध्याय भगवान ने बोला है, हाँ 18 अध्याय हैं, चलो ठीक है डिस्काउंट दे देते, 17वां अध्याय में एंड होता है, 18वां फिर से समरी कर रहे हैं, लेकिन फिर भी कुछ तो बोला होगा 12 अध्याय में, मतलब 14-15 अध्याय में कुछ तो बोला होगा, कुछ तो देख लीजिए। तो जब भगवान आते हैं तो उनके लिए कुछ रीजन रहना चाहिए, जैसे भक्त लोग को बुक लेने के लिए भी रीजन देते हैं हम लोग, भगवान के आने के लिए भी रीजन रहना चाहिए। So there is an external reason and an internal reason. Internal reason is very beautiful, but since today's topic is Advaita Acharya, we will stick to the external reason. One of the external reasons is that there was a lot of abhakt, or basically those devotees or those people who are considered as Brahmanas, they were using Vedas as the reason or the platform to do violence. They were used to sense gratification. And so they were using the scriptures as evidence to say that we can do animal killing. तो प्राणी हत्या के लिए, मांस का भक्षण करने के लिए वो वेदों के श्लोकों को या वेदों के निर्देशों को वो आधार मानकर उसके अस्तित्व पर वो अपना इंद्रिय तृप्ति करना चाहते थे। वैसे ब्राह्मण बहुत सारे लोग थे, वे ब्राह्मण जो वेदों को मद्देनजर रख के ये से काम कर रहे थे, उनको रोकना था। तो तभी उनके लिए तो बुद्ध आए थे, उन्होंने आके बोला ये देखो भाई, ये ऐसे हिंसा मत करो, आप वेदों को भूल जाओ। ठीक है, वेदों को बुलाने के लिए बुद्ध खुद आए। फिर उनके शक्त्यावेश अवतार, भगवान के शक्त्यावेश अवतार आए। वे जो लोग हैं जो वेदों को भूल गए थे और एकदम नास्तिक बन गए थे, उनको थोड़ा तो आस्था की तरफ लेके आए। उसके लिए कौन आए? शंकराचार्य आए। शंकराचार्य आके बोले, क्या बोले कि देखो आप नास्तिक तो नहीं हो सकते, क्योंकि भगवान तो है और हम सब में भगवान बसते हैं, और आप भी, आपका चित्त भी परिशुद्ध होने के बाद भगवान में ऐक्य हो सकता है। ये ऐक्यता, ये जीवन का ध्येय है, ये जो सायुज्य मुक्ति है ये ध्येय है, ये सिखा के चले गए। लेकिन ये सत्य तो नहीं, ये अर्ध सत्य है। अर्ध सत्य ये सत्य है कि हम सारे ब्राह्मण हैं, ये सत्य है कि हम ये शरीर नहीं है, और हम ये स्थूल शरीर से हमारा जो संबंध है ये अचिर है। तो हमारा संबंध किससे है? हमारा संबंध तो स्वयं भगवान से है। वी आर रिलेटेड टू हिम मच मोर देन व्हाट वी आर रिलेटेड टू दिस जड़ जगत। So somebody has to come and remind us that we are what we are. So when Krishna's words has to be properly given to the people, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, of course, after Shankaracharya, the other acharyas came. Ramanujacharya came and refuted Shankara, and Madhvacharya came and refuted Shankara. All those things happened, but none of them focused on the real method which Bhagwan has told us in Bhagavad Gita, which is Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. So, Man Manabhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Okay, all these things which Krishna told, people did not know how to implement it. For that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself had to come. Of course, there are internal reasons, but externally, he had to come and teach those people who are very pure and pious, but are getting astrayed because of Mayavad, are getting astrayed because of Maya, and getting astrayed because of family life. That hey, devotion नामक चीज भी है, और इसको कैसे करना है? भक्तावतार को जाके सिखाएंगे। चैतन्य महाप्रभु की लीला देखेंगे तो 48 years टोटल वो इस भारत भूमि में रहे अपने आध्यात्मिक शरीर में। 48 years में 24 years तो वो ब्रह्मचारी थे, मतलब ब्रह्मचारी और गृहस्थ, ठीक है, वो संन्यास नहीं लिया। तो बहुत ही कम आयु में उन्होंने शादी की, और उसके बाद बहुत ही कम आयु में 24 की आयु में उन्होंने संन्यास लिया। जो आगे का जो पहला 24 years है वो पूरा नवद्वीप में बिताया। बाकी के जो 24 years है उसमें से 8 साल उन्होंने भ्रमण किया साउथ इंडिया और वृंदावन, और बाकी के 16 साल पूरा का पूरा उन्होंने गंभीरा में बिताया, पुरी में। This entire activity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an exemplary method of how a devotee should follow, and what should he do in devotion. So he gave as an example his own life as an example. In Chaitanya Caritamrta and Chaitanya Bhagavata it is said, first you do and then you preach. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches that. First he says that you पहले आप करिए, पहले आचार उसके बाद प्रचार। तो ऐसे अवतार को नीचे लाने के लिए, क्योंकि कलयुग के जगाए मदाइयों को अगर किसी को बचाना है तो सिर्फ नित्यानंद प्रभु और अद्वैत और चैतन्य महाप्रभु से ही हो सकता था, क्योंकि महाविष्णु जो है वो आपको मुक्ति दे सकते हैं लेकिन कृष्ण प्रेम नहीं दे सकते। अद्वैत आचार्य is capable of giving you mukti himself because he is Mahavishnu, but he is not willing to give the Krishna prem, but he is not capable of giving Krishna prem. Okay, or he is not entitled to give Krishna prem. Not capable तो मतलब मैं नहीं बोल सकता, लेकिन वो नहीं देने के उनके पोर्टफोलियो में नहीं था वो। His portfolio was to give, if at all, if somebody wanted, he could have given mukti, liberation. But what can save the Kali Yuga ke baddha jeev is Krishna prem and unalloyed devotion to Krishna. This is what can save us. So if that is what can save us, then Advaita Acharya is the only person who was so compassionate that he cried. He cried so much that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to come down and then take birth or take an avatar in the womb of Srimati Sachi Janani, and as a son of Jagannath Mishra in here, मतलब हम जहाँ पर बैठे, मैं और जहाँ पर जीवानंद प्रभु बैठे, इधर से सिर्फ आधा किलोमीटर में इधर ही जन्म हुआ था। समझिए कि कितने how fortunate we are that the Lord walked the earth, and that earth we are able to see and walk. Who? Not just any avatar, Lord himself. Lord himself walked this earth, and that very earth we are able to touch, see, understand and feel. How fortunate is that? If at all we got an opportunity, whom should we thank first? Advaita Acarya. Because one of the external reasons is that Advaita Acarya called the Lord down. He forced the Lord to come down by constantly praying, constantly praying. A learning which we can take from Advaita Acharya's constant appeal is that the Lord can come down only when you are sincere first. You have to be sincere. And you have to call out. You cannot say to Bhagwan hai, samajhte main kya chahta hu, wo khud de denge. No, you have to call out. जैसे माँ बाप को पता रहता है बच्चे को क्या पता है क्या नहीं पता है, लेकिन माँ बाप को खुशी तब मिलती है जब वो बच्चा उनके सामने वही चीज बोले जो उनको पता है कि उसको बच्चे को पता है। हाँ, तो वो चीज जब हम करते हैं कि भगवान को तो सिर्फ पता है, चैत्य गुरु को क्या नहीं पता, हमारे हृदय में जो हो रहा है, जो अच्छे चीजें हैं, जो बुरे चीजें हैं, साक्षात उनको पता है। क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे निकट बैठे हुए एक तत्व है, वो है हमारे परमात्मा, हमारे चैत्य गुरु हमारे साथ बैठे हैं। जो हम सोचते हैं, जो हम करते हैं, जो नहीं करना चाहते हैं वो करते हैं, वो सभी उनको पता है। तो हमारे जो नीड्स हैं, हमें ये चाहिए वो चाहिए, वो तो उनको पता ही है। तो फिर हमें जाके क्यों पूछना है? पूछना चाहिए, वो एटिकेट है। क्योंकि हमें अपने माँ बाप से क्या शर्म है। तो when we have to thank somebody for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance just 500 years ago, and we have this opportunity of roaming around the same land where the Lord walked around, dhule dhule gora chand,
Hari Guna Gaye.
Hari Guna Gaye. So he walked around with this entire gang of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Srivasa Acharya, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit. They all walked this land. If at all we have to thank, the first person we have to thank is Advaita Acharya. Why? Because he was instrumental in calling for the Lord out, and then he came down. So one is sincerity, the other one is to call down, and other one is to get all the necessary ingredients and offer it to the Lord. See, in place like Mayapur, if you knock on any door, almost, you can definitely be sure that you can get Gangajal and Tulsi in their house. Any house for that matter. Tulsi to hoga hi, Gangajal to hoga hi. I'm speaking about practicing devotees, or even in general for that matter. If they are not from, if they're from any Sanatan or Hindu background, they'll definitely have Gangajal at home, because nal khola to Gangajal hi aata hai. Or Tulsi to rahega hi. But kya missing hai? That sincere attempt to call the Lord down and to offer it to him. That sincerity is missing. That is what we have to inculcate from Advaita Acharya's pastimes. So now today's topic, which Jivanagara Prabhu has so kindly given me, is the glories of Advaita Acharya as per Chaitanya Caritamrta Adi Leela.
हाँ, कुछ श्लोक है प्रभु, कुछ वर्स भी आप उसको रेफर कर सकते हो अगर आप चाहोगे।
हाँ,
तो
मैं अभी थोड़ा वो चैप्टर ही थोड़ा आप लोग स्किम करेंगे,
ठीक है।
I'll share that. I have the sharing rights, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so this particular chapter 6, I think.
Yes, Prabhu. 6 आदि गिला।
Glories of Advaita Acarya.
जी।
तो थोड़ा इसको स्किम करते करते जाएंगे तो हम लोग ये पूरा का पूरा चैप्टर ऑलमोस्ट देख सकते हैं। तो in this chapter the summary says that Advaita Acarya is described in 2 verses which we just read now. Those verses are in the initial chapter but also re-quoted here. And who is Advaita Acarya? He is the superintendent of the cosmic manifestation, and his glories are magnified by because unless one is invigorated by this mentality of servitorship, one cannot understand the mellows. करके ऐसे ये chapter पूरा Advaita Acarya के glories के बारे में बताता है, and Prabhupada also adds to that. So in the beginning, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami is quoting these verses again, which we read, and these are 2 verses which is very useful for us to by heart. If at all you can, you should by heart these 2 verses. So in this, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami is saying that the Advaita Acarya is none other than the Supreme God himself, and he cannot be perceived by the living entities, like na bhavet grahyam indriyaihi. So because of our faulty senses, we will not be able to identify that he's the Lord himself. Why? Because most of the living entities have been cursed, that the reality will be there right in front of us, but because of our senses, we will not be able to identify. क्योंकि देखिए, सालिग्राम शिला हो या अर्च विग्रह हो, पुराण में और शास्त्र में बोला गया है कि it is non-different from the Lord. Non-different मतलब वो भगवान है खुद, और हरिनाम भी, हरिनाम से कोई, हरिनाम और भगवान में कोई अंतर नहीं है। लेकिन हमारे जो प्रैक्टिस में हम वो फॉलो नहीं कर पाते, क्योंकि जैसे अगर कोई चैंट कर रहा है तो बोला गया है कि हर एक नाम जब चैंट करते हैं तो कृष्ण, राधा और कृष्ण हमारे जिह्वा पे आके नाचते हैं। अगर हमने शुद्ध नाम लिया तो शुद्ध नाम लेने में कितना टाइम लगता है? किसी ने प्रभुपाद को पूछा था, शुद्ध नाम लेने में कितना टाइम लगता है? how much time does it take for you to actually chant in a pure way? Prabhupada said 1 second. It takes 1 second.
प्रभु जी आपका आवाज ब्रेक हो गया, आवाज नहीं आ रहा है। अभी आ रहा है। अभी देखिए प्रभु, अनम्यूट कर लीजिए आपको।
हरे कृष्णा।
हाँ आ रहा है।
हाँ मैं तो अनम्यूटेड हूँ। आ रहा है?
हाँ
तो रुक गया था।
वो रुक गया था प्रभु। ठीक है।
जीवानंद प्रभु जी, शायद हो सकता है कि प्रभु जी का इंटरनेट स्लो है, इसलिए शेयरिंग की वजह से वो मतलब स्टॉप हो रहा है
तो
सिग्नल।
आप शेयर कर दीजिए, आप शेयर कर दीजिए।
हाँ मैं कर सकता हूँ प्रभु जी।
हाँ आप शेयर कर दीजिए। 5th चैप्टर, 6th चैप्टर। ब्रजविनोद प्रभु जी, विष्णु प्रभु जी शायद लॉग आउट हो गए, मेरे को लग रहा है, दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है। ठीक है, अभी आ जाएंगे। आप विष्णु बाबू, आप स्क्रीन शेयरिंग कर दीजिए। ये वाला चल रहा था, ठीक है।
हरे कृष्णा।
हाँ जी प्रभु। और विष्णु प्रभु स्क्रीन शेयरिंग कर रहे हैं प्रभु, और स्क्रीन शेयरिंग की वजह से शायद कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, तो
अच्छा।
विष्णु प्रभु जो आप बोलेंगे विष्णु प्रभु शेयरिंग कर देंगे प्रभु।
हाँ ठीक है। तो so it is very difficult for us to understand that the Lord is actually in front of us. See how we do deity worship. When we do deity worship, the Lord is there in front of us. भगवान खुद हमारे सामने है, लेकिन हमारा जो उनसे व्यवहार है एकदम इम्पर्सनल होता है। हम लोग कभी कभी आरती एक टाइम पे करते हैं, दूसरे टाइम पे करते हैं, कभी कभी ऑफरिंग करते करते मंत्र कहीं और रहता है, मन कहीं और रहता है, और उनके सामने ही हम लोग खाने लग जाते हैं कभी कभी। तो ये सारे चीज जो करते हैं, और जब भगवान के सामने हम जाके जो डीटी वर्शिप के ऑफेंसेस करते हैं, अगर आप रूप गोस्वामी को देखेंगे नेक्टर ऑफ डिवोशन में, तो अर्च विग्रह के प्रति हमारे जो अव्यवहार है उसको उधर लिस्ट किया गया है, द ऑफेंसेस टुवर्ड्स डीटी वर्शिप। उसमें जोर से बात करना, डीटी के सामने रोना, ये सब सारे ऑफेंस बोला जाता है। ब्लू कलर के कपड़े पहन के जाना, रेड कलर के कपड़े पहन के जाना, उनके साथ उनको भगवान को पीठ दिखाना, बहुत सारा, मतलब ऐसे सब पढ़ते रहेंगे तो 64 से ज्यादा ऑफेंसेस उधर लिखा हुआ है नेट ऑफ डिवोशन में। तो अगर हम लोग ऐसे करते रहते हैं, एंड अब ना वी आर इम्पर्सनल इन आवर बिहेवियर, we don't consider the deity to be the Lord. Similarly, we don't consider the name, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Hare Krishna Mahamantra to be non-different from Krishna. In the same manner, it is very difficult for us to actually understand that the same self Lord, Advaita Acarya, is non-different from Vishnu and Krishna in that sense, but still different. So this is what is being told, and it is said that Advaita Acharya is he is the one who actually maintains the entire material universe. Okay, he is a thoda higher concept, but I don't have the capacity to explain it right now because it takes a lot of time to explain how the original Balram, Nityananda, is the source of the original Balram, and how through Advaita Acharya comes Vishnu. There is an explanation in various Gaudiya philosophies and works, which is a interesting but very long topic. But for now, just we'll go with what Krishna Kaviraj Goswami is saying. And Advaita Acharya is actually the part of that Purusha, and is non-different from him. He explains in the further verse. Say Purushera Amsha Advaita Nahi Kichu Bheda Sharira Vishesha Tara Nahika Vicheda. So there is no difference from that Purusha and Advaita Acharya, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami says. And this is the person who is a reservoir of all auspicious attributes, which Krishna Kaviraj Goswami further on explains that how this particular quality of Advaita Acharya led him to become compassionate towards all the living entities. He is the one who is the embodiment of auspiciousness. कट गया क्या?
विष्णु बाबू 10 नंबर वर्स है, 10 नंबर, वर्स नंबर 10, विष्णु बाबू वर्स नंबर 10. Yeah, this one. Yes.
हाँ, नहीं, इससे आगे भी गए हम लोग शायद. आप प्रभु जी ऐसे ये करो, आप don't go one, give me the control, I'll tell you. See here. There is a advanced view. Yeah, so now you can just scroll.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji.
Koti Shakti, Koti Avatara, Etalaya Suje Purusha Sakala Samsara. So here Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is beautifully telling how this entire material world with millions and parts of energies, and so Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu who is maintaining the entire material world. Okay, so if you want, we can continue reading it. It's the entire chapter is so beautiful, and it tells about the glories of Advaita Acharya much more than what I can explain with my own words. Because whenever I start reading Caitanya Caritamrta like this, or Chaitanya Bhagavat for that matter, you just have to read the verse and then go ahead and understand. Maya eche dui amsha nimitta upadana, Maya nimitta hetu upadana pradhana, Purusha Ishvara eche dvimurti haya, Vishwa shrishti kare nimitta upadana laya. How many of you are Bengalis? My Bengali will be like very funny for you, but this is how.
No. Correct, Prabhu. Ekdam correct. Khub bhalo ache.
So because my Bengali is only starts and ends with Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat. So there is an external cause, and that is called nimitta, and material cause upadana. So we'll skip this because we have to still go further to these are all philosophy. Prabhu, let me share because it's very difficult for me to scroll this.
Sure, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
हाँ, yes, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, हम लोग 2 क्लास भी ले सकते हैं, जैसे मान के चलो कि जितना हो सकते ठीक है, फिर हम आपके साथ टाई अप करके और एक क्लास इसके ऊपर हम ले सकते, आप दे सकते हो प्रभु, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है प्रभु. 2 क्लास हो सकते हैं क्योंकि टोटल 120 नंबर वर्सेस है.
120 है, लेकिन इसमें हाँ तो लंबा
2 क्लास 3 क्लास.
अभी फिलोसफी छोड़ के we'll go to because long purports are there in this. So Jiva Nistarila Krishna Bhakti Karidana Gita Bhagavate Kaila Bhakti Vyakhyana. He delivered all living beings by offering the gift of Krishna Bhakti. He explained the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in the light of devotional service. So he is explaining about Advaita Acharya himself. He actually explained the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He used to conduct classes. Advaita Acharya not only called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu down, but also used to conduct classes. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's elder brother, Vishwambara, he used to go and attend classes.
Vishwarup.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Vishwarup used to attend classes in his in Advaita Acharya's house.
Yes, Prabhu.
And this became the seed of the entire pastime of Sachi Mata asking the forgiveness from Advaita Acharya getting he goes unconscious, and then Sachi Mata picks up the dust from the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya. So this shows how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so very clear about the positions of different people in their lives. Even though it was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's own mother in that pastime, he made sure that Sachi Mata would apologize to Advaita Acarya because she had offended him. How did she offend? When Vishwarup took sannyas, Sachi Mata became very upset. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started going to Advaita Acarya and associating with him, she made a comment saying that he is the one who took my first son away. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not bear. Because see what happens, most of us conduct our life as though devotional life is not the most important aspect of our life. Or else we would not be wasting so much of time. We are supposed to, you're supposed to have devotional service as the central point of our life. But because Sachi Mata considered the physical relationship between her and the son to be more important than the aspect of getting Krishna Prem, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is thought to be very, very offensive. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that I can give Krishna Prem to everybody. He was so merciful that he gave Krishna Prem to the entire village in South India. The animals were given Krishna Prem in the Jharikanda forest. Whoever he saw, he touched, he gave Krishna Prem. But his own mother, he said, no, you have offended. What is the purport to this entire pastime? The entire pastime is that even though you are the mother of the Lord himself, if you have offended a pure Vaishnava, it is impossible for you to get Krishna. Impossible. Very, very deep point. बहुत गहरा सोचना चाहिए हम लोगों को. हम आए दिन left, right, center, we keep offending with people, to people. And it is said that in the Shastra that if there is a Vaishnava, if there is a person, you offend them today, if they are not devotees today, but tomorrow they become a devotee, then you are already committed Vaishnava. See how dangerous this is. This happened to, in the case of Dhruva, when Suniti offended Dhruva, he was not a devotee, his stepmother. But when Dhruva became a devotee later, she actually was in the risk of having committed Vaishnava aparadh. That's the reason her son got killed, and she also in a very gruesome manner.
Forest fire. Died in forest fire.
Forest fire. So we have to be very, very careful of our dealings with devotees or dealings with anybody for that matter. But it is said that when you are doing your services for the sake of services, if you are doing something without any kind of malice, मतलब कोई भी जानबूझ के किसी को पंगा लेना है करके नहीं करना है. If you do activities which is basically to help somebody in that course of time, in that course, if somebody gets offended, that is not considered as Vaishnava aparadh. You should not have the intention of offending somebody. You should not try to offend somebody. You should not have any internal motives of saying a few things. In that case, if it's only your service that you're saying it, and then they get offended, that's not Vaishnava aparadh. So your intentions are very important. So it says Vaishnava aparadh means your intention should be pure. Krishna also tells in the Bhagavad Gita that whatever you are saying, you should say it with how it does not agitate the other person. Just now we had myself and Jivanaka Prabhu were there in a class. Nita Sevani Mata was telling this verse.
Yes.
Anudvega Karavakyam. Anudvega Karavakyam means you should tell things, even though you should tell a lie. You should not tell a lie, you should tell truth. But it should be for the good cause of the other person, and it should not create any anxiety in the other person.
Palatable.
So offenses are very, very dangerous. So Advaita Acharya actually explained the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in the light of devotional service, and he was the person who started this off. And later on, it was taken up by Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Pandit, and Shamananda Pandit. These were the three who were expansions of the three principal deities. We all know it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's expansion went into Narottam Das Thakur, and Nityananda Prabhu's expansion went into Srivas Acharya, and then Srivas Pandit, and then Advaita Acharya's expansion went into Shamananda Pandit. So these three people expanded it. Further down the lane, when everything was lost, again Bhakti Vinod Thakur took it up. And Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Saraswati Thakur expanded it, and our own Srila Prabhupada got it to us, gift wrapped in a nicely translated book. So the actual essence of Chaitanya Charitamrta, actual essence of the Lord's mercy, the Bhagavatam, was not very easy to get. People have tried and cried to get this learning. But just because it is very easily available in a nicely wrapped book, we are not even opening that book. So it is very unfortunate that so-called practicing Vaishnavas, followers of ISKCON, we are not focusing on reading and developing our knowledge. Of course, this group is nicely trying, but I'm speaking about myself. There are so many things that I can do, but I'm wasting time. So anything, how much ever we do, that is not enough till the time we actually get to the platform of chanting pure names. Till that time, it's going to be very, very long journey, because this phase of Anartha Nivritti is the longest. Ado Shraddha, you might hear something from somebody who must have just developed little faith. Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya, you already got the association of Prabhupada. Taking association of Prabhupada, that is fine, that's easy. Bhajana Kriya, starting the bhajan is very easy. That the Anartha Nivritti stage of removing the Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, and Puja, Labha, Pratishtha, all these things, the removal of these things is the longest, and it goes on. It's not that till the time Anartha Nivritti happens, we will not get into Nishtha. You'll definitely get into Nishtha. But Anartha Nivritti continues till the time, till the level of Bhava. And Vaishnava Aparad, you know when it goes? The traces of Vaishnava Aparad is there when you're doing Nishtha also, in the chain of Ruchi, in the stage of Bhava also. It will be a small tinge of Vaishnava Aparad still there in the stage of Prema also. The effects of it. Not Vaishnava Aparad itself, but the effects of Vaishnava Aparad is there in Prema also. It will go only when the Jiva returns back to Goloka and Krishna gives the hug. At that stage, that last trace goes off. That is how deep rooted Vaishnava Aparad seed is. Advaita Acharya reminds me of that incidents where Sachi Mataji herself was not given Krishna Prem. Who are we? So we should be very, 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 very careful of our dealings with everybody. Yeah. So I think much more to speak, but I think this is an essence of what Advaita Acharya is the one who called the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu down, and he's the one who explained Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and he's the one who is non-different from Vishnu, and he just offered Tulsi and Ganges to Saligram Shila and called the Lord. His sincerity, his attempt to call the Lord down, and is gathering all those paraphernalia and offering it to the Lord. One of the external reasons of the Lord's appearance. So we can stop here and take any comments or questions, and then we can call it a day.
हाँ प्रभु जी, सेकंड पार्ट इसका हो सकता है क्या? जैसे क्या आप सजेस्ट करते हो? इसका बाकी जो वर्सेस वगैरह है, सेकंड पार्ट हो सकते है कि
नहीं प्रभु,
इसको...
ये दिस इज अ वेरी फिलोसॉफिकल चैप्टर. I did not want to stop you from this giving this topic, but this particular framework आपने दिया अद्वैत आचार्य इन चैतन्य चरितामृता, ये बहुत ड्राई सब्जेक्ट है. चैतन्य भागवत में बहुत है. Okay, so this is good enough for now, I think. But of course, you can read that chapter.
Okay.
There is also another chapter called the branches of Advaita Acharya and Gadadhar Prabhu. That is like all his disciples are named, and then Nam hai. Then after that, the Chaitanya Charitamrita starts in the 13th chapter. But in the beginning, the first 12 chapters of Chaitanya Charitamrita is the background, preface to the Lord's pastimes.
Yes, प्रभु. तो हम क्वेश्चन आंसर थोड़ा अब ले सकते हैं प्रभु, मैं बाकी लोगों को बोलता हूँ.
बिल्कुल प्रभु, बिल्कुल कोई बात.
ठीक है ना. इस चैप्टर से अगर किसी को कोई क्वेरीज है थोड़ा सा पूछिए प्रभु जी को. ठीक है ना. बहुत हेक्टिक शेड्यूल गया हुआ है 3-4 दिन प्रभु जी को, मैं जानता हूँ. बहुत मेहनत किया प्रभु जी के ऊपर. प्रभु जी, आपका कोई ILS में लेक्चर है क्या, शेड्यूल है क्या? मैंने पूरा देख नहीं पाया 3-4 दिन का.
मैं बहुत
नहीं ऐसे नहीं, ऐसे मत बोलिए प्रभु.
बीच में कॉमेडी भी करते प्रभु जी. मैं ILS और मैं तो ILS का अटेंड ही नहीं हूँ.
नहीं ऐसे नहीं.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna Vishnu Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I'm just curious about the so you mentioned that Advaita Acharya is an incarnation of Mahavishnu.
Yeah.
So what I want to understand is, because from a general point of view, Vishnu and Krishna are the same tattva, like they're the Supreme Lord.
Yeah.
So why Lord Vishnu, who is same as Krishna, wants to become a devotee? And another question is, so Shiva and Vishnu are like Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. So how Vishnu and Shiva can combine in the same, means what is the intention of both of them coming in the same incarnation? So this is my confusion actually.
Yeah, it's okay. In the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, if you have read that, if you've gone till there, or in the Krishna book also, there is this incident where one Brahmana keeps on losing his sons. And he calls Arjuna, says, this is all because of the king not being proper. So Yudhishthira is not doing is not a proper king. That is the reason I'm losing my sons. Look at his direction. Says if the king is not proper, then the praja will suffer. So it goes and complains. He said, why do you want to disturb Yudhishthira for this? I will come out and with my Gandiva I will stop the death of your next son. And Arjuna goes and he says, if you're not able to stop, I will enter fire. So then the next child is born, and then again immediately the child is vanished. So then Arjuna is like, I could not stop this from happening, so I have to enter fire. He's about to enter the fire. Then Krishna comes and says, wait, what happened? This is what happened. Then they go from one place to another, and reach, long story short, they reach the place of Kshirasagara where Vishnu is having those children. Vishnu, Krishna and Arjuna go there and they ask, why do you do this? He says, no, I wanted to have your darshan. Though Vishnu is the same as Krishna, but still not the same, because a few attributes of Krishna are not manifested in Vishnu. Original is Krishna. See, the problem with us is that we try to guess the pastimes of the Lord with our abilities. We think that it is exactly like me only. No, Krishna also is. So if I am not able to be in two places, How can Krishna be in two places? If I am not able to expand myself into one person who has got 4 qualities lesser than myself, how can Krishna do? This is our problem. So our problem is that we think that na bhaved grahyam indriyai. We cannot decipher the abilities of the Lord with our contaminated senses. I'm not saying हमें समझ में नहीं आएगा कभी भी. No, समझ में आए हुए लोग हैं, समझ में आएगा, लेकिन it will come into our understanding with our purified consciousness. It's like this. If you go to a 2nd standard child and tell him, how much is 5 minus 2? He'll say, 5 in head, 2 in hand, minus karo, 3. The answer is 3. Right? But if you ask the same child, how much is 3 minus 8? He says, 3 in head, 8 in hand. Nahi hoga. This is impossible to minus. But if you go to a slightly purified consciousness in mathematics, to a 5th standard child or 7th standard child, he will say it's minus 5. A concept of minus 5 is not comprehensible for a 2nd standard child. You know? But for this 8th standard child also, if you say, what is the square root of minus 1? You say, square root of minus 1. Nahi hota. But an engineering student knows it's called I. Huh? None of the engineering mathematics start without this I. What is your in any, for that matter, degree ka koi?
I'm into software, Prabhuji, so electrical, yeah.
So you know.
Yes,
okay, square root of
yeah.
minus 1 is one of the most
I,
important attributes of mathematics.
yeah.
Right? So a 2nd standard child cannot understand what is square root of minus 1, not even heard of it. Where an engineer who is the same person, quality is kya hai? Uska consciousness is purified in mathematics. He is able to understand. So when you purify our consciousness in Krishna consciousness, when the soul is purified of all the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, puja, labha, pratikta, and then constant association of purer devotees, and understanding the Shastras from various angles and various Acharyas' purports, then it's like, acha, aisa hai. Oh, you get that eureka moment. But in the Kanishta stage, you're able to appreciate the deities, but you're not able to appreciate the other devotees. And at the same stage, you're able to understand the concept yourself, but you're not able to explain it to others. In the Madhyama, you're able to appreciate the difference between devotees and you're able to create a hierarchy. Okay, this is a Lord, I have to have loving relationship with the Lord and seniors, friendly relationship with my friends and colleagues, and also same level. Have some mercy towards the people who are pure but lower in their consciousness, and stay away from ignorant. Prema, Maitri, Krupa, Upeksha. This differentiation comes in the Madhyama. At that stage, you're able to convince others also about the greatness of the scriptures. That stage will come. And then there will be a stage where you will be able to influence others just by your presence. That's being an Uttamadhikari. So, if we have to understand how Vishnu comes on his own, I am not able to explain, but it is possible. But we have to understand that Vishnu himself longs for the Lord's company. Does it satisfy for now?
Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you.
प्रभु जी,
हाँ,
प्रभु जी एक क्वेश्चन मेरा था, जैसे वो जो रूट जैसे आपने बताया ना, जो महासंकर्षण है, क्योंकि फर्स्ट एक्सपेंशन बलराम है, बलराम से चतुर्भुज है, जैसे पद्मनाभ, अनिरुद्ध, संकर्षण और आपका और दूसरा है वासुदेव। तो संकर्षण के बाद जो आता है फिर दोबारा एक चतुर्भुज है ना, और बीच में कोई है क्या, बीच में कोई है क्या दोनों चतुर्भुज के बीच में?
नहीं,
तो दोबारा जब चतुर्भुज होता है फिर महासंकर्षण से फिर वो महा विष्णु आता है ना प्रभु, यही है ना, महाविष्णु से फिर तो रूट जो है फिर वो बलराम से ही जुड़ा हुआ है प्रभु, है ना, बलराम महासंकर्षण फिर महाविष्णु, इस तरह से रूट जुड़ा हुआ है।
करेक्ट।
और कोई प्रश्न और कोई क्वेरी?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण समीर प्रभु।
You just mentioned in your lecture that Advaita Acharya, who is an incarnation of Mahavishnu, is not able to deliver love. What what has been spread by Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu.
Yeah.
Because the very purpose of his incarnation during Chaitanya Leela, I think gets defeated if he is not able to deliver love in that particular pastime.
You are absolutely right in your question. When it comes to that point, as I was telling about Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam, there is one chapter in Chaitanya Caritamrta where they are explaining about the entire Panchatattva. There they say that the entire Panchatattva have opened up the treasure house of the entire love of Godhead. That happens only after the Lord came down. Okay, in one of the purports of the 6th chapter, Prabhupada himself writes that Advaita Acharya can give liberation but not love of God on his own, but as a unit they can give.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Okay, so this is, and I don't know whether I read it in Bhagavad or this thing. Most probably Chaitanya Charitamrita, one of the purports only is there. I can try to find it and send it to you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you told about Vaishnava Prad. So,
yeah.
And you also told that truth should be, hitam, and it should be also palatable, So, Prabhuji, suppose if somebody is saying the truth, chastising me for some reason, and it is not palatable. So the one who is chastising me, he is doing some Vaishnava Prad if it is not palatable.
Generally, these rules are applicable when we are doing it. Okay, there are two sets of rules which you have to apply for your life. One is when you are the person who is giving feedback or chastising, you should use this rule of make it palatable, be very nice, but be truthful. But when somebody chastises you, you should take it as Krishna's mercy.
Okay.
And somebody chastises you and you get hurt, it's not that you're saying, I am Vaishnava, you are now doing Vaishnava Prad. The entire definition of who Vaishnava is, if somebody says I'm a Vaishnava, he's not a Vaishnava anymore. This is the beauty of the definition.
So Prabhuji, sometimes it happens that, to some senior, we are saying that to senior that you're not doing correct, we are pointing some, mistakes towards him. So sometimes he says that you're doing Vaishnava Prad.
Yeah, I mean,
so they use that as a tool, not to, so that nobody point out their mistakes,
It's
so
wrong.
how do we?
No. If you hear Anuttama Prabhu's class today, he was telling that point very nicely. That it's not that we should go and tell everybody saying that hey, तुमने तिलक ठीक से नहीं डाला है क्या है, ए तुम ऐसे क्लास दे तो ये क्या है, ऐसे नहीं. We should have our daira, our boundary. Our boundary is our life. Okay, feedback should be given only when you have adhikar. Adhikar comes either by seniority or by your role. As a role, as a father has an adhikar towards the children, husband has an adhikar over the wife, mother has an adhikar over the children, and seniors in terms of initiation have it on their juniors. Reporting managers have it on their subordinates. These are all adhikars. These are natural adhikars. Or a person sitting on a vyasasana has adhikar. Not to chastise, but to give feedback. But does not mean that you cannot give feedback to your senior, but there is an etiquette in which you have to give. It is a method. How do you do that? Prabhupada says that you can give feedback through questioning, not by commenting. Let's say if somebody is doing something wrong. For example, let's say, give a very vague example. Let's say he's putting tilak wrongly in a different sampradaya tilak he's putting. I'm just giving you a very weak example. You cannot say, sampradaya chhod diya kya aapne? ऐसे नहीं पूछ सकते आप. You can ask very humbly, saying that प्रभु जी, प्रभुपाद ने हमें ऐसे तिलक डालने के लिए बोला है, क्या ऐसे तिलक डालना भी सही है? You are telling that you are putting this tilak wrongly, but you're asking in a very humble manner. Or let us say he's doing something like he's like, for example, he's a grihastha and he is interacting with some other Mataji very closely, and you see that, and it is not good for him. You're not supposed to go, if he's very senior, you're not supposed to go and question him like that. You can only go to his senior, who is reporting authority, and say, Prabhuji, I had this observation. This is according to me, I'm not able to understand this. Can you help me understand? This much feedback you can give. And then you chant your japa. Okay. It's not that you start confronting the other Vaishnava. You never know. That other Mataji might be his sister. Right? So
प्रभु जी in the senior position तो बहुत डेंजरस है. सपोज करिए बहुत एक दीक्षा गुरु है, बहुत सीनियर है ना. अगर वो कोई है ही नहीं उनको कुछ बोलने का, मतलब कमेंट करने का, उनका कोई कोलिग्स है, वो सुनते भी नहीं है, तो फॉल डाउन का तो कई सारा रीजन हो ही सकते. और ऐसे पास्ट भी हो चुका, वो आप जानते हो, मेंशन करने की जरूरत नहीं है ना. वो तो बहुत डेंजरस सिचुएशन है, मतलब है ना. गिव फीडबैक एंड टेक फीडबैक, ये जो रोल है प्रभु.
नहीं, ये देखो, ये see, we always go either in this direction or that direction in the extreme. Either we think that every guru is pure Vaishnava, or we think that every guru is a potential fall down. Both are wrong. Sakshadharitvena samasta shastra. Okay, we consider the guru to be as good as the Lord. But does not mean that anybody who is doing anything which is not as per the sadhu shastra, but even then I accept them as guru. So in IDC, if you have done IDC, or if you have read through the course material, if somebody has taught them properly, then we have to have this clearly ingrained in our minds. We in our sampradaya are having unconditional surrender towards Prabhupada and conditional surrender towards our guru.
Oh, Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Wow.
Unconditional surrender towards Prabhupada and conditional surrender towards guru.
Haribol, Haribol. Excellent. Wow.
Till the time that guru is following what Prabhupada is saying, he is guru.
Wow.
Else, we have to follow with Prabhupada. This is what ISKCON is.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So we can stop here.
So, yeah, we can wrap up the session. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, once again, from your busy schedule. You take your time and give us this nectar, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And we say Haribol to Vraja Vinoda Syama Prabhu, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Vraja Vinoda Syama Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, once more.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, कृष्णाज कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि.